Deion Sanders' divorce drama back in court again today as he and his estranged wife, Pilar Sanders, continue their custody fight for the 3 children. The top news from today's session in front of the jury are these. Deion was the day's first and, as it turned out, the only witness. He contends that the whole custody issue was settled and that the money is really Pilar's concern. Pilar claims it is and always has been about the kids, and that Deion's fame is getting in the way.
This ain't got nothing to do with the kids. It's all about money. That's it. Because you get the kids, now you get more child support. That's what it's all about. And they need to stop the shenanigans, stop the nonsense, and just call it for what it is.
I love my babies. I've done everything for them and with them, so anything to keep them happy and to keep them doing very well in all that they do.
After Deion's attorneys finished, Pilar's attorneys got to cross-examine the Hall of Famer. He took the opportunity, he being Deion, to get a little combative with Pilar's attorneys, which pushed his testimony to the end of the day. The trial is expected to last through the rest of the week.
And a little weather forecast for you, Steve. It was a very bright day today, so people had to wear their big sunglasses coming into court. The drama truly does begin on day one. Divorce attorney Monica Peters is here tonight. We appreciate you being here. Listen, this jury, you've got these 12 people going through really this media circus, these larger-than-life personalities. This has got to be a beat down for them listening to all this.
Absolutely, and jurors do get really frustrated, especially in family law cases, because a lot of times they feel like the parties are being petty and they're wasting the jurors' time to sit here and listen to things that they can't work out for themselves, especially in family law cases where juries are really limited on what they even get to decide. Most of the important stuff is still decided by the judge.
So even though these people are perhaps going to spend the rest of this week listening to the back and the forth and the he said, she said, at the end of it all, they're not going to go, okay, Pilar, you get this, Deion, you get that. It could still be the judge?
That it will be the judge. The family code says that they don't get to decide that. They get to decide very limited issues like who's at fault in the breakup of the marriage, which can play a role in how the judge decides to divide things, but ultimately that's the judge's decision.
So they just get to be a part of all this then and get a front row seat. Okay, so Pilar's attorneys, they are saying, listen, the children need to go with her because Deion's work requires him to travel. But he's got to travel to make a living, and he can obviously afford, you know, a nanny or somebody to take care of the kids. So should that be an issue when it comes to custody, his job?
Well, it's certainly relevant. I mean, if he's not present, how can he be a parent? But at the same time, is it fair to penalize the man for making a living? What's important is if Deion would be able to provide for the children and make sure that they had supervision, those types of things if he were away. The judge can do a million different things when dividing up possession and access. The judge can put in orders about who takes care of the kids when Deion is off working. So he is pretty flexible on what the judge can do.
Well, so Deion's attorneys, though, and I guess flipping this around, they're saying Pilar doesn't quite have her career figured out, that she wants to be famous, that she wants to be a star. Therefore, she's spending all her time focusing on that and not the children.
Right.
But everybody, again, you've got the right to figure it out and to work. I mean, that's what every working parent does. We all balance it. That's what we have to do.
Right. And at the end of the day, what the judge is going to do is try to figure out the best way to make sure both parents can have a relationship with their children, the most effective way to divide up the time. I haven't heard anybody say that either one of them is really having the type of serious issues that might make a judge say, okay, we need to limit the time that this parent has with the kids.
Yeah, because I always wonder in cases like this, if you put too much out there about both sides, the judge could say, well, listen, I don't know if either one of you is fit to have, you know, custody full time. I mean, if you keep throwing all these barbs and these things out there.
Right. I suppose potentially that could happen. It's very unlikely. I think judges and juries realize that in these kinds of cases, everybody's going to say the worst thing that they possibly can about the other side. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact of these types of cases.
And that's just truly what makes me go back to the jury. I mean, what 12 people want to sit there and listen to somebody's dirty laundry get exposed when everybody's got their own issues in their own household?
Yeah, the short answer is nobody wants to do that.
And again, that's why you said that just these jury situations don't happen very often. Let's talk about the children, because really that's who this is supposed to be about. Are the children going to have to go in that courtroom and take the stand?
It's highly, highly unlikely. Even if the judge were to permit it, I would say that strategically that's a bad move. If you as a parent are willing to subject your children to sitting on a stand badmouth the other parent or confirm bad things that the other parent
when they're
did.
both sitting
When
there.
they're both sitting there in front of a group of strangers, that really says a lot about how much you care about your kids and where your priorities lie. So I think as an attorney, you have to look at that and go a different direction.
So because the judge is going to make really the ultimate decision anyway, could the judge say, I just want to talk to the kids in private? Or because we're at the jury phase, does it need to go in front of the jury?
Absolutely, the judge can talk to the children in private. Again, the jury is really limited on what they can decide. It's going to be the judge who at the end of the day decides where these kids are spending their time.
All right, Monica, I'm sure we're going to be having you in a lot as this trial continues. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank
We
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Okay, so that's Monica's take. We've heard from Deion. We've heard from Pilar. What do you have to say about all this? Is it about the kids? Is it about the money, as Deion says? Let's hear it from you on our Facebook page right now. We are Fox 4 News.